Why do we struggle so much with the idea of being wrong? What do we think it could mean if we turn out to be wrong on something? Will heaven and earth be moved? Will our sense of self be in shambles? Will people be able to look at us again? Is it really as bad as all that? Hey everyone, I'm DrGrayingBeerd, former professor turned craft beer enthusiast and communication strategist. Sometimes we're wrong about things. It's as simple as that, and it's the case for all of us many times over. How we think, reason, feel, act, and so on. But when we discover that, we don't always want to acknowledge it. We fear that if we admit we were wrong, we would lose face, lose the respect of others, and end up feeling lower about ourselves. It is so much easier to dig in and deny and keep the hard work of personal growth at arm's length. It's hard, I get it. Cognitive dissonance can suck. Having to challenge ideas, thoughts, feelings, practices that we are used to is a tough process, but we can still do it with grace and maintain badassery in our own right, assuming that's important to us. It oftentimes is in some sense of masculinity. Masculinity tends to seek approval and respect through different means of competition. So it's predictable that admitting fault doesn't really fit the culture. It can be difficult to navigate our pride intact the way that we know it, but that being said, the reality is that no one gives a shit about your pride but you, and at what cost are you going to endure to maintain that pride? Speaking for myself, when someone is big enough to admit that they were wrong, it makes me respect them more, not less. And now we have more common ground that we can work with. Anyone who's willing to move on a position is someone who's reasonable, who is not hard-lining on something just because it's so heavily tied to their identity, but someone who wants to get it right. Now, after debate and exploration, you may find that you still believe what you believe, and that's fair enough, so long as it was done via objective, provable facts from a variety of source points. It's imperative, though, especially when there's conflict involved, that when the other person admits to being wrong, that you do not crush them with it. Offer support and understanding, but it shouldn't come from a place of pity or really even sympathy, but even-keeled respect. Nothing that indicates that we feel like we're above them, because we're not. There's a partial quote from Churchill that I especially like in this context. In victory, magnanimity. In peace, goodwill. When I discover I'm wrong, believe it or not, sometimes I feel a sense of relief. I had it wrong, but now I feel confident that I've corrected things and have it right. That makes me feel good, not bad. I feel like I've moved forward somehow, that I'm less in the dark. Unless it's been challenged, we can never know if our perspectives are correct. They need to be tested and put under scrutiny and argued about before we can really get a sense of their level of truth, even personally. We have to be willing to follow the argument where it leads, even if it means we end up having been wrong. That's where righteousness really exists, not in distance or denial, nor in condemnation and contempt. Part of the solution is acknowledging the difference between facts and opinions. We can argue fruitfully about our opinion, even to the point where we agree to disagree, but facts are the center. Be argumentative, and when you're wrong, maintain your confidence and poise and simply say something along the lines of, "This has given me a lot to think about." Don't put a spotlight on yourself in humiliation, and don't let one be put upon you either. We are just trying to figure things out in this crazy world. That is certainly one thing that we already all have in common. Thanks for watching. I hope all is well with you and yours. Remember always to drink great beer, share knowledge, and spread merriment. Cheers.